Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a Cash App review after utilizing the platform for over a year. Now there's a lot of great features and maybe a couple downsides to actually utilizing the app, but overall I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the pros and the cons. Now in case you're not familiar with Cash App in general, this is a money transfer app to friends and family members. So if you are wanting to send money to someone, this is a great way to be able to do so. Now for me, I like to reference that this is very similar to Venmo or even Zelle. If you're familiar with either one of those two, this is also going to be in that same light. Now, one of my favorite features with Cash App after starting to use it for some time was the Cash Card feature, which is an actual debit card that you can get entirely for free with the Cash App. Now, this card can actually utilize any money that is sitting in your Cash App account. Whether you transferred it from your bank or your debit card, or if somebody transferred money to you, you can utilize this card either in stores or online. You could even withdraw money from an ATM machine. Now, the really cool feature about this Cash Card is they have what they call a boost feature. Now, this boost feature is kind of like a rewards program, but instead of having to wait to get the rewards, you actually get it instantaneously. I've talked about it in previous episodes with Cash App, which I'll link in the show notes down below for you. But what this really does for you is gives you nice discounts, sometimes at restaurants, sometimes at retail stores, sometimes online. Different places will give you different types of discounts. So for me, I love being able to save money, especially when it's instantaneous. So that way I just go ahead and not have to worry about getting any type of rebates. It is all taken care of. Now, as far as having your money onto the app, I know sometimes people are like, well, what's the point of having the Cash App if I already have a bank account? Well, there's a couple great benefits to actually having the Cash App. One, if you're transferring money back and forth with friends or family, which of course you do have to have a debit card or a bank account actually on file to be able to, send that money back and forth. And then of course too, maybe if you are somebody who wants to kind of delegate a little bit more of their spending money in a select area, this is a great way to do so. So if every month you try to give yourself a budget for having fun, maybe, $50, $100 every month, or maybe like an eating out budget, this is where you can keep that money and then kind of condense your spending habit just a little bit more because you're going to only be using it what's available on the card. Because if you try to use the card any more than what's available, it will always decline it. So of course, something to keep in mind there. But overall, that can be a great benefit. I've actually had some people in the comments in previous videos talk about being able to potentially use this as a way to kind of give their kids an allowance, so that way the parents can transfer money and then the kids can just use the debit card that is on file. So a more relatively new feature that Cash App has is the ability to have a bank account number and a routing number. I actually had a few comments that actually brought up the fact that there is direct deposit available for them since they actually have those pieces of information, which they didn't have when I first started. So I actually wasn't even aware of this until more recently. Now, I've actually had people ask me in the comments before too, is Cash App a good actual bank account to have if you don't have any other regular bank? And I would actually say no, not necessarily a better option for not having a bank. I personally would recommend another company called SoFi Money, which is an online app-based kind of bank. I'll link them up in the show notes down below. You can check them out. But overall, I just wouldn't recommend this as a bank, just in case you're wondering about that. Now, going back to the debit card, I was talking about that boost feature, and the boost feature is really cool because, like I mentioned, you get those discounts instantaneously. Sometimes they're $1 off purchase, sometimes they're 10% off your purchase, and they do cycle into different types of offers. One of the other really popular ones that hasn't seemed to have gone away in the last year is $1 off any coffee shop, and that does include Starbucks if you spend over $1.50, which is really easy to do at almost every single coffee shop. So something to keep in mind as far as cool benefits to just having that Cash App card, and it's all entirely for free. So one of the biggest downsides I would say with Cash App is the fact that there's not a actual phone number to reach customer service, at least not as of this recording. If that changes, I'll let you guys know in the future. But as of right now, to be able to contact them, you do have to go through an email customer service line, which can make it a little bit difficult, I would say, and it really kind of breaks the barrier between like you trying to have a conversation with a human being to help understand what's going on for you if there's anything that's going wrong with your card. Because just like every other type of debit card, there is also a possibility that your information can get stolen. If you're using it at a certain terminal and maybe a thief actually gets that information on the debit card, they can use it online. So just something to keep in mind. I personally like to disable the debit card until I'm about to use it personally, but overall, that is always going to be something out there for people because I know they're worried about it when it comes to utilizing Cash App, but Just like everything else, you do have to be cautious with your own money. You can't always rely on everybody else. So one feature I don't personally use, but it is available for you, is if you are trying to send money back to your regular bank account, they actually have an instant deposit feature. Well, it's not really instant, it's like 30 minutes or so, but you can actually have that money sent back for a small fee. It's usually a percentage of what you're sending back, which is 1.5% of what you're sending, but you don't have to use that feature. You can just use the standard transfer amount. But the nice thing is that feature is there just in case maybe you need that money pretty quickly. It is nice to have that available for you. So another feature they added just 2 days prior to me planning on filming this video was a investing platform. Just on the Cash App itself, you can actually start investing in the stock market with as little as $1. I haven't done a full test on it just yet, so that is not part of this review for the most part, but just letting people know that it is part of the overall app itself if you were interested in getting started in the stock market. So in the future, I'll make a video dedicated to just that portion of the app. Now, if you don't currently have Cash App, I will actually have a link in the show notes down below for you. Now, that link actually does, as of this recording, have a $5 bonus attached to it. The only things you have to do is, of course, sign up for the account. You actually have to have a bank account or a card on file, and then you have to send at least $5 at some point to a friend or family member, so that way you can get your $5 bonus. Now, if you have a family member or a friend that already has the app, you can utilize their link if you would like. But either way, go ahead and get started with Cash App. I think it's a fantastic app just as a supplement to your regular bank accounts. Save some money with the cash boost features, and then also be able to send money back and forth to friends and family at no extra cost. But if you actually want to see all the features and benefits of the Cash App, check out my videos right over here where I go into a lot more detail on the Cash App. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.